Hi everyone, this is Ryan from EventWeb, and today I'm going to be taking you through an in-depth demo of our RFP Wizard. If you're not familiar with the RFP Wizard, in a nutshell, it's a tool we've developed using our 20 plus years of experience in the trade show industry to help exhibitors put together perfect requests for proposals for potential exhibit and event producers. You see, we found that even the best event managers sometimes have trouble speaking the complicated language of the exhibit producer, and that even the best RFPs prepared by event managers can miss critical information that producers need to provide you with the best possible solution. EventWeb's RFP Wizard solves those issues, and today I'm going to show you how. So sit back, relax, and see how our RFP Wizard is going to make your life and your producers' lives way easier when it comes time to bid on your next event. After you log in, I'm logged in here as an exhibitor. You can access the RFP Wizard in a couple of different ways. Easiest way is to go to my account, click on RFPs. Again, you can upload your own custom RFP, but for the RFP Wizard, just click on RFP Wizard here. And you can read some information here if you'd like, but otherwise just click on Start Your RFP Wizard. First page is going to ask about the show info. So name of company exhibiting. We're going to go with Test Company. Excuse my typos. Show attending, test show, why not? Location of the show, let's go with Vegas, 89118. It'll automatically populate the city and state. If it's outside of the US, if you can put that in here. Which convention center? Let's say the Las Vegas Convention Center. Start date, let's pick a date in the future. Let's go with November 15th to November 18th. Website of the show, we'll do testshow.com. General contractor, we can pick from the standard general contractors. GES, Freeman, Shepherd, Gems, Champion, other, or I'm not sure. We'll go with Freeman here. Do you have a confirmed space for the show? Yes. What's your booth number? We'll say it is 1234. Is this the first year attending the show? Let's say yes. Go next. General exhibit info. We're going to ask for the size of the booth. Let's say we're doing a 30 by 30. Nice size booth. If you have a weird, unique space, you can click on My Size Isn't Listed, or My Space is in meters in case it's a show outside of the country. And then this will come up here where you can type it in. Format of the exhibit, of course, is inline walk-through, corner, end cap, or island, or other. Sometimes you might have a booth that's the shape of an L or a triangle, maybe, something like that. If that's the case, that's where you'll want to click on other. For now, let's just say it's an island. And then, are we looking for a custom exhibit, rental, portable, or hybrid custom rental? Or other, of course. Okay, if it's other, you can type that in if you're not looking for any of these types of booths. But let's just say we're going, custom exhibit, full on. Next, step 3. Now, one of the key things that makes this RFP Wizard, I think, really functional is that it adapts to what your input is. So it's not going to make you fill in things or put things out there that don't really relate to your particular booth space. So for example, do you require any private meeting rooms? If you hit no, nothing happens. If you hit yes, then it's going to ask extra things in here. So let's say we need a private meeting room. Let's say we need 2. Are they all the same size? Let's say no. You'll see this pops up. If no, indicate the sizes. If you hit yes, it doesn't pop up. So if no, indicate size for each. Let's say 1 large 15-foot room, 1 small 10-foot room. You could say 1 large, 1 small, however you want to describe it here. How many people would you like to fit in each room? If there are differences in rooms, please indicate. For the large room, let's say large room. We'll say we want 10 people. Small room, we'll say we want 4 people. Do we need a ceiling? We're going to say no. It's November in Vegas. We don't need a ceiling for air conditioning, but, not just for air conditioning, but sometimes people need ceilings for privacy. But we'll say no for this. Do you require lighting control? We're going to say no. Do you require air conditioning? Nope. Do you need a refrigerator? Let's say yes. Now you can see, again, it adapts. If we need a refrigerator, how many? Let's say we want 2, 1 in each meeting room. 2. one in each meeting room. Any other info you'd like to add regarding your conference rooms? Let's say, please use rolling chairs. I'm pretty sure there's a question later about that, but we'll just put that in here for now as a placeholder. Other than tables in the private meeting rooms, you require any standard height meeting tables in the open area. Okay, so we've moved on from the conference rooms. Now we're talking about the open space. Remember, it's a 30 by 30. We've got a big chunk of it taken out for the 2 private conference rooms, but do we need other open meeting spaces? Let's say yes, we do. How many tables? Let's say another 2. How many seats around each table? Let's say 3 around each table. Do you need pencil drawers in your tables? We'll say no. Do you need power at the tables? Yes. Any other requirements you'd like to add for your tables? So that would be if you needed something like maybe you need a hardline internet. Maybe you need a monitor with an HDMI cable, something like that. You can leave this blank or hit no. It's up to you. Do you require any bar height tables? Okay, let's say yes. Let's go with 2 bar height tables. Sometimes it's nice to have bar height tables that are a little less formal. How many stools? We'll say 2 little small tables there. Do you need power at your tables? No, we'll say no power here. Any other requirements you'd like to add for your tables? No, we'll leave that blank. Do you require any dedicated storage areas for the product? Personal items get away. Of course, yes, we do. Do you need a large amount of storage, like a walk-in closet? Yeah, there's a 30 by 30. We're going to have a lot of people there. Let's say we would like a small closet for bags. Do you require credenzas and cabinets for storage? Yes, sure. We'll take another. 2 additional credenzas. Credenza is a funny word. If you're in a trade show industry or have been to a trade show, you know what it is, but most people don't know what a credenza is. 2 additional credenzas. We'll say 4 foot wide. Any other notes you'd like to add for your storage? We'll leave that blank. Do you require any other form of storage? We'll say no. And we'll leave that blank anyway. Or we could write no. Do you require a reception desk or podium? Yes, we want a reception desk. How many do you require? Let's say 2. It's a very large booth. How many people will be stationed at each? We're going to have 1 person at each. Seated or standing? Seated or standing? Again, important to know. If you're seated, you might want to leg well. Sometimes it's uncomfortable if it's a full cabinet below there. We're going to say that they're going to be seated. Any other info you'd like to add regarding reception? We'll say no. Do you require any display areas for product? Or we'll just leave that blank. You don't need to say no. Any other display areas for product? Yes. Describe in detail what your product is. Whatever you're selling, this is a good place to explain to the producer exactly what it is you're selling. Everybody has different methods of displaying their product. And if you're going to have live product there, everything from security to power to just general function is super important for your producer to know. So here, it's best to get as detailed as possible. For now, I'm just going to say we sell widgets. They require security. Okay. Please describe in detail how you typically display your product. Do you use slat walls, standards, showcases, pedestals? We display our widgets on pedestals. But again, this is important if you have lots of product and you need it on a slat wall, or you need standards with shelving for adjustability, or maybe your product is software and you need monitors. This is exactly where you want to dive into that for your producer to understand exactly what to do. But how much product you need to display and exhibit? We have 12 widgets. All around 1 foot by 1 foot footprint. Also important here, do you require any security divisions? Yes. We need these to be tethered. Security is important. Maybe your security is going to be a security guard that's in the booth. Maybe you need high security behind glass with a lock. Here again is where you want to convey that to your producer. Any other info you'd like to add regarding display? We'll leave that blank. What type of flooring do we want? We're going to go with carpet, but you could pick carpet, hardwood, vinyl rollout, or no floor if you're using the show floor. Are you displaying any large machinery or anything like that? That's important if you're going to a show like SEMA or World of Concrete or something, and you've got large machinery or cars that you need to have in the booth, here's where you're going to want to dive into that. But we don't. We're just selling widgets, so we're going to hit next. Audiovisual, important, and banners. Do we require monitors? Yes. How many monitors do we need? Well, we're going to need 2 in the meeting, 2 for meeting rooms. Or we'll say, maybe be a little clearer, 1 in each meeting room, 1 behind each reception desk, and 1 at each meeting table in open space. Well, I asked underneath here, but I got a little ahead of myself. Where specifically in meeting rooms? You can probably just copy and repeat that. What is the purpose of the monitors? So again, when you're talking about monitors, are they just running a loop? Are you going to be connecting to a laptop? Are you going to be connecting to your phone? How are you using these monitors in order to present? So let's say all meeting space monitors will need to connect to laptops via HDMI. Monitors behind reception will run on a loop. For monitors running content, please indicate you're on this guy. USB sticks, we'll say USB sticks. That'll be for the ones behind reception. Do you have specific size of the monitors? We'll say large monitors for meeting room, medium for open tables, large for reception. Now, over here, if you have specific sizes that you want, of course you can put that. But if you just say large, medium, large, your exhibit producers will take that into account when they do the design and work a monitor size in there that works for you. Do the monitors need to be a specific brand, or is there a brand they cannot be? This comes into play with a lot of tech companies. If you're doing a project for a company that makes TVs, for example, like a Sony or Samsung, they might say, hey, you have to use our monitors. Don't use somebody else's in our booth, or vice versa. We'll say no here. Do your monitors require a specific resolution? We'll say all of our content's 4K, so we're going to go 4K. Do you wish to purchase or rent the monitors and content drivers? Depending on your booth, if you're doing this booth for 5 times a year, probably better to purchase them, more cost effective. But we're going to do this only once, so we're going to say rental is fine. Do you have any other info you wish to provide? No. Do you require any large format video walls, like an LED wall? We're going to say no. Do you require any computers or laptops? We're going to bring our own, so no. Any presentation devices? No, because we don't have presentation. Do you like an overhead banner? We're going to say yes. Any particular style you prefer? You got your round, square, pillowcase, SEG, rotating, illuminated, etc. Well, we can say we're going to go with up to design. So we'll leave that up to the designers. We don't need to put that on there unless we have a real specific reason for wanting one over the other. Note that banners can be expensive. This is just little notes. With this in mind, you look to do something simple or something elaborate. We're going to say we'd like a wow factor here to let the design team know that you're sending this to, that this banner is important. We want people to see where we are. We're willing to spend the money to do that. Any other information you want to provide? No. Do you require any overhead lighting or truss rig? This is if you are doing a very elaborate booth with truss overhead. You're going to want to discuss something here. This is definitely more of an advanced area if you're familiar with it, but we're not going to do that in this particular write-up, so we'll just leave it blank. Next. Design style considerations. So importantly, when you're conveying to your potential producer what your design is going to be, you want to be able to tell them, what do we like? Are we a traditional brand? Are we super modern? Do we want this to look like it's in the future? Do we want this to be contemporary? These are all really important gauges that designers need to understand what the look and feel of your brand is. So there's some aesthetic options that we have here along those lines, right? We have modern, clean, futuristic, contemporary, traditional, chic, shabby chic, retro, bright, deco, eco-conscious, clever, unique, lots of different adjectives here that describe what we're looking for. For our widget company, test company, we're going to go with modern. We're going to go with clean. We're going to go with unique. Is there a hotel you've been to whose design style you like, love, or would like to emulate? We find that this is really, especially in Vegas, it's a great way to tell designers or to convey to designers exactly what you're looking for, right? So if you've been to Vegas before, you might say, "Hey, I stayed at the Aria. Love the way the Aria looked," or maybe, "Hey, I really, really liked the way the Mandalay Bay looked." There's or different hotels anywhere in the world, because hotels, they all have websites. So maybe you stayed in a beautiful hotel in Dubai or in Miami. This is where you want to put that in there. So we'll put in the Aria in Vegas, just as an example. Is there a brand or aesthetic you like to look to for inspiration? Perhaps you're saying, "Hey, I really love Apple's look." You might say, "We love the look of an Apple store." Could be anything. Could be a restaurant. Could be something that gives the designer a place to kind of look to for inspiration. Do you have an existing design style, like a corporate office that you like to emulate? Maybe your business has a corporate office that is beautiful, lots of money spent on it. Here's where you'd put that. Otherwise, you can leave it blank. Maybe, yes, our corporate office would be great inspiration. Or an existing style guide, which is something you'll upload at the end. So we'll say, yes. So if you have a style guide, that's always helpful. Any exhibits you've seen, yes, we've provided some examples. Maybe at the last trade show you went to, you saw some booths that were beautiful, or sites on the producer's portfolio that you were looking at that you want to reference. You can do that and put that here. Do you have brand guideline, other market material you provide? So you might have brochures, you might have websites, something like that. This is where you'd put information to help design again. And do you have any additional info regarding the overall aesthetic you'd like to communicate in this RFP? By the time you're done with this and you answer these questions, the design team will have a really good idea of the overall look and feel that you're going for. Next, now budget. Budget's the most critical thing. Nobody likes to talk about budget. A lot of times people think that if you give a producer a budget, that they're just going to, either come in under and just give you that number, or just push it as far as they can. But the truth is that without a budget, people really don't understand what to give you, right? Most exhibit producers, if you wanted them to, they had no budget, they'd bring you the Taj Mahal. You'd have a golden exhibit with all kinds of beautiful things going on. And it might look great and it might do the job, but if it's 10 times your budget, then, it's not going to work for you. So at the same token, you don't want to tell someone to make it super cheap, where they're going to come back with a bunch of, pull-up banners and the show flooring, and it's going to be a garbage-looking exhibit, and you're not going to be happy. And if you want to start to think about the budget, think to yourself, hey, can I spend $1 million on this booth? Maybe you can, but probably not. And if that's the case, then cut it in half. Well, do I have 500 to spend? No. Okay. Cut it in half. How about 250? Okay. That's a little closer to what we can do. So, there is always a budget in mind. Now, when you get to this point, I'm not going to dive into it here, but we have this budgetary tips section that we've developed. If you click on this, and you can access that also from any homepage here up top, we go into a very in-depth area for determining how to calculate that budget. It goes into show services, depending on what city and state you're in, type of booth, size, lots and lots of detail. And again, I'll go into that in another video. But for now, know that when you get to this point, if you don't already have a budget, clicking there for the budgetary tips is going to be a great place to start to try and develop an idea for what your budget should be for what you're looking for. So let's hit next. Okay. Do you wish to enter budgets for specific elements? So that means, hey, do I have my budget in such a way where I can say, hey, I have this budget for my flooring, this budget for my carpet. Let's show you what that looks like. Comes down here and select the following options. Walls. We'll say we have a budget for walls. We'll say we have a budget for furniture. We'll say we have a budget for our banner. We'll say we have a budget for our product displays. And you'll see that'll give you a whole bunch of items here. All right. So walls, we'll say our budget is $25,000. For furniture, we'll say it's $10,000. For banners, we'll say it's $15,000. For product displays, we'll say, I think we said we had 12 products. Let's go $24,000. Over here, you can add some more things. So maybe there's something that's not there. Let's say we're going to add in a budget for AV. And for that budget, we're going to put in $5,000. You can add another if you'd like. Otherwise, we hit next. Now we have event services. Let's say we don't have. If you want to hit yes, you can. You're going to have same thing. You're going to have budgets for freight handling, installation, supervision. The event services for this one, and to save time, we're going to hit no. We're going to do our overall budget for our event services is going to be $50,000. Next. It'll calculate what you have, $79,000 for your physical exhibit elements and $50,000 for your event services. Okay. If you have to change that or you want to increase it, decrease it, you can hit previous and go back. Provide a link to any of your assets or supplemental materials. So you could have a WeTransfer or Dropbox, Google Drive. Here's where you're going to want to put a download link for anything that you want to send your producer or let them access to download the things like your logo, your fonts, marketing materials, any of the things you see here listed. Let's just put here testrfp.com just to show where it's going to be when you finish. Hit next. Now your RFP is complete. So hit finish. And what it'll do is it'll generate a PDF for you. Now, let's download this PDF here, show you what it looks like. Okay, and here is what the RFP Wizard outputs. Got a date here, request for proposal. First, you can see it has everything that we put in. Name of company, trade show attending, general info, exhibit functionality, everything that we put in here. Beautifully put together in a nice cohesive PDF. Budgets, download material if you want to download. And now you have this. Where does it go? So if we go to our account, you will see. Oh, we got to click on my account. Sorry. That the RFP Wizard's right here. So in your account, you can download your RFP Wizard and you can take that, print it out. You can save it on your computer. You can send it to any other producer that you might want to. Or you can go right directly to the directories and find a producer that meets your target needs, right? Let's say you're looking for somebody in the jewelry industry or that handles the jewelry industry. You got 4 people here. And then let's say we're looking for somebody that does Nevada because it's a Las Vegas show. All right. We click on Argo Productions, for example, now. We found a producer that at the very least covers our industry in the state that we're looking for. We'll click on See Profile. And then at the bottom here, you can submit an RFP directly. So if you click on Submit RFP, you can upload a custom, of course, or you click on the RFP Wizard here, fill in a little bit of info and hit send. Argo Productions will get that and get your information and, of course, contact you because certainly they would be interested in bidding on your project. You could send this out to the particular people on EventWeb that work for you and, with the confidence in knowing that the RFP you are submitting very clearly defines what you're looking for. And again, this makes everybody's life a lot easier. And you saw, I went through that pretty quick. It took about 20 minutes to get the whole RFP done. But if you know what you're going for, it shouldn't take you too much longer than that. Just follow the prompts and the guide. Definitely check out the budgetary tips section. Again, we'll have another video for that up at some point for you to check out. And if you have any questions about this or you want a deeper demo dive through the RFP Wizard, reach out to us. Send us an email to info@myeventweb.com. And we'd be more than happy to jump on and take you through it. Thanks again. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to this long RFP if you're still around. RFP Wizard demo, rather. And we'll see you on the show floor. Bye-bye.